Warm greetings to one and all present here. It is indeed my honor to be hosting the 12th Dada Nari Gursahani Festival Vidhi Manthan 2021 Research Odyssey. This year, the competition event is of research paper writing in order to inculcate research skills in law students. First and foremost, I request our principal, Dr. Nilima Chandiramani ma'am, to welcome the esteemed dignitaries and participants for today's event.
Thank you, Sparsh. A very good afternoon to our chief guest, Honorable Justice M.L. Telyani, guests of honor, Mr. Kishu Mansukhani sir, Advocate Anil Harish sir, and all those assembled. Karamveer Dada Nari Gursani was an erudite scholar, a legal luminary, a crusader for social causes, the Sindhi Samrat, a committed educationist, an unflinching philanthropist, undaunted freedom fighter, a devoted spiritualist, and a unique humanist. Existence therefore demands that his life be celebrated as a festival. On this 12th annual Nari Gursani Festival, we are honored, privileged, and obliged to have with us one of the most distinguished and esteemed former judge of Bombay High Court, Honorable. Sir is applauded and respected for his judgments, including the one which he delivered in the terrorist Ajmal Kasab's case. On behalf of the HSNC board, Nari Gursani Law College, and all assembled here, I extend a heartfelt welcome to our chief guest, Honorable Justice Mr. M.L. Telyani. We are delighted to have with us our beloved and respected trustee and president of the HSNC board, Mr. Kishu Mansukhani sir. Year after year, for the past 11 years, sir has motivated us, and he still continues to do so on this 12th Vidhi Manthan. He motivates us at this annual festival by his presence and words of wisdom. A warm welcome to you, sir. We are overwhelmed with the presence of our trustee and past president, Advocate Anil Harish, a national and international renowned tax jurist. Sir, my students have suggested that even in future, we host this event online just to have you with us for this festival, which is very close to our heart. I welcome all the participants of Research Odyssey who took part in this national level research paper writing competition, and the results will be announced at the end of the program. A warm welcome to my staff members, my dear students, and the HR team. Thank you all. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, madam. On behalf of Nari Gursani Law College, I take this blissful opportunity to pay a tribute to our beloved Dada Nari Gursahani by bestowing his encomiums, in whose memory we organize this event every year, no matter what the situation is. Words are inadequate to describe this remarkable personality, who was an institution in himself. This commendation cannot bring justice to someone who was in one moment so many things: a legal luminary, a crusader of downtrodden and the underprivileged, beacon of hope, and a masiha of Sindhi community. Yet, a humble attempt has been made to put in words his legacy so as to inspire others. Dada Nari Gursahani was born on 2nd September 1927 in Nawab Shah, Sindh. His father was a very respected and learned advocate. Academically, he was a bright and active student. It was his good fortune to have an ideal teacher who played a huge role in shaping Dada's destiny to the right path. At the tender age of 14, he was imprisoned for his anti-imperialist activities under the Quit India movement, which during that time also held ground in Sindh. Dada passed his LLB from Ferguson Law College in Pune. A giant among lawyers, Dada Nari Gursahani was a complete lawyer, well versed in practically all fields of law. Dada was not only a good orator, but was equally good at his pen. No wonder representations drafted by him carried weight and helped solve many problems of the needy, even at the level of high courts and the Supreme Court. For Lok Bhrata, as he was called by many, no nook or corner of the country was too far and no rehabilitation impossible where his distressed, dispersed, and dislocated community required his help. As a result of the partition, lakhs of Sindhis left their motherland Sindh and migrated to India. They were accommodated in different military camps as refugees. Dada's spiritual guide, Bhai Bhagwan Das, inspired him to do social service, and thus he rendered unconditional seva to them. Dada enjoyed august positions in innumerable institutions, associations, organizations, etc., the list of which is inexhaustible. Dada Nari Gursahani was an advisor for the legal affairs to the state government, leader for the Maharashtra State and Bombay High Court, and a member of the State Board for Linguistic and Religious Minority constituted by the government of Maharashtra. He was honored the Samman Patra by the CM of Maharashtra. A silver salver was also presented to him by the CM of Maharashtra on the occasion of Silver Jubilee of India's independence. An eminent advocate, patriot, fearless freedom fighter, and a leader to the entire Sindhi community. Dada Nari Gursahani is the first Sindhi who was awarded a cash prize worth 2 lakh and a silver plate by Har Gobind Foundation in recognition of his dedicated and devoted service to the community. A truly inspirational human being, saint for some and hero for others, lives on in our hearts forever. I'm pretty sure that he might be somewhere, keeping a divine watch on all of us. We seek your blessings, Dada. Moving on, we are graced by the kind presence of Mr. Kishu Mansukhani sir and Advocate Anil Harish sir as guests of honor for today's event. I call upon Ms. Kinjal Makwana to introduce Mr. Kishu Mansukhani sir.
Thank you, Sparsh. I cherish this opportunity to welcome Mr. Kishu Mansukhani. Mr. Kishu Mansukhani, trustee and past president of
Kinjal, please unmute yourself.
I cherish this opportunity to welcome Mr. Kishu H. Mansukhani. Mr. Kishu H. Mansukhani, trustee and past president of the Hyderabad Sindh National Collegiate Board, which manages 27 institutes educating nearly 50,000 students a year. He is associated with the board since 1974. He is a graduate in mechanical engineering and management studies from the USA. Currently, he is operating retail marketing and consulting companies representing overseas brands. Besides this, he is also actively engaged in social, educational, and charitable activities. Mr. Mansukhani's family has been associated with the HSNC board from its inception in India. As a young man, Mr. Mansukhani accompanied his uncle, Karmayogi Gangaram Himmatmal Mansukhani, to Ulhasnagar's refugee camps to help the victims of partition. In the early 60s, with Mr. Mansukhani's family's help, particularly with the generosity of late Sri Gangaram, his paternal uncle, 16.5 acres of land was purchased for the collegiate board for the establishment of Chandibai Himmatmal Mansukhani College and the CHM campus. Due to the generous contribution of his family, the board named 2 of its schools after their family, namely Smith Kishnibai Sitaldas Punwani Jai Hind Academy and Master Sitaldas Punwani High School. Mr. Mansukhani was the founder member of Asian American Chapter Lions Club in New York and subsequently president of Lions Club and zonal chairman of New York Bermuda Island chapter. He is active in social, educational, and humanitarian work. He is trustee of various charitable organizations engaged in preventive healthcare of children, welfare of adults, and assisting needy students in completing their graduation. He is the founder member and immediate past president of the International Sindhu Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much, sir. We are honored to have you amongst us today.
Thank you so much, Kinjal. Now I request Kishu sir to please encourage our participants today.
Very good afternoon to all. Very good afternoon to all of you. Our chief guest, Honorable Chief Justice Chailani, former High Court Judge. Sir, nice to have you with us. It's indeed our honor to have you with us today. We look forward to words of wisdom and encouragement to our students. My colleague, Anil Harish, trustee of our HNCB board, distinguished guests, principals of the campus, Principal Dr. Nilima Chandiramani, teachers, parents, and above all, the future lawyers. Welcome to 12th Dada Nari Gosani Festival, Vidhi Mantra 2021. We celebrate this festival in honor of the most outstanding, courageous legal luminary, Karamveer Dada Nari Gursahani. Mr. Gursahani was a giant among lawyers. He was well versed in practically every field of the law. A fathomless knowledge of law, a persuasive argument enabled him to win legal battles against topmost constitutional experts. This Sindhu Ratna, born with a golden spoon, was the tallest champion of the downtrodden and underprivileged. He was a rock of Gibraltar for Sindhi community during the long and after partition of the country. A magnanimous philanthropist, a committed educationist, and undaunted freedom fighter. He was a member of our board. Our board will always be indebted to him for the selfless service provided for many decades. Our bond with him was so enriching that his loss will remain unreversible. He has parted with a mortal world, but his continuation will mark his presence as long as humanity serves. Today, we also fondly remember Bubbles Gursahani, daughter of Shiv Nari Gursahani. She attended this festival every year. I had the honor of attending all the programs with her continuously on the many decades. Bubble, we miss you. Dear parents, as future lawyers, dear students as future lawyers, you will be the guardian of the law and will play a vital role in preservation of our constitution and society. Lawyers are the individuals who have the wide range of responsibility and duties when it comes to their performance and profession. Your role in the society will ever more important as you are the acting voice of the others. You are the aspiration and hopes of the millions of people by securing their fundamental human rights. The most needed commodity in today's world is integrity and ethics. To believe in what you are right and to stay on the right course. Never compromise. Ethical values will be the mantra of the leaders like you in the today's and tomorrow's fast-moving world. Dear students, you are fortunate few to have the privilege of acquiring your knowledge in the great temple of learning under the dynamic principal of Nilima Chandiramani and her able team. You are the future leaders of India. Maybe the future Chief Justice or High Court of India is sitting among you today. By law attending, be law attending students and be proud of your culture, your roots, and above all, our country, Bharat. Be proud of yourself, your parents, and above all, our country, Bharat. I wish you all the success and contentment in life. Thank you. God bless you all. Jai Hind, Jai Chulelal.
Thank you so much, sir, for these encouraging words. I now call upon Kinjal Makwana to introduce Advocate Anil Harish, sir.
Thank you, Sparsh. It is my honor to introduce Mr. Anil Harish. Mr. Anil Harish, having BA Honours LLB, and LLM degrees, is an advocate by profession and a partner of the law firm DM Harish and Company, which was founded by his father, Mr. DM Harish. Mr. Anil Harish's practice includes many diverse areas of the law, that is, property, exchange control, foreign investments, trust, wills, and Indian and international taxation. He has been ranked by the prestigious legal directory of Chambers and Partners as a leading tax lawyer, having a solid clientele of both domestic and overseas organizations. Mr. Anil Harish has authored several articles which has been published in the Times of India, Hindustan Times, and several professional journals. Mr. Anil Harish is the director of several prestigious public limited companies, including Hinduja Global Solutions Limited, Hinduja Ventures Limited, Future Enterprises Limited, Oberoi Realty Limited, and Blue Star Limited. Mr. Anil Harish, a very soft-spoken, down-to-earth personality, will surely take our board and its institutes to a greater height with his unique leadership. Besides being a trustee of HSNC board, Mr. Anil Harish is a trustee of several other educational and charitable trusts. That is, DM Harish Foundation, the Indusland Foundation, Rajni Patel Memorial Foundation, and many more. Last but not the least, he is the most sought-after speaker in India and abroad, and has delivered speeches at prestigious events at Brussels, London, Dubai, Muscat, and Jakarta, in addition to being a regular speaker on the annual budget. Thank you for gracing us today with your presence, sir.
Thank you so much, Kinjal. I request Anil sir to continue the tradition and address us with his inspiring words.
Honorable Mr. Justice M.L. Teliani, Mr. Kishu Mansukhani, Dr. Nilima Chandiramani, and my dear friends. I am very pleased to be here at this inaugural function of the 12th Vidhi Manthan Festival of Nari Gursani Law College. It has been especially creditable that the college has been able to function and to conduct this festival and so many activities in spite of the lockdown. I'm very glad that this year the theme of the competition is research, and that as many as 40 research papers have been received, one from each college. Every judge and lawyer and professor will testify as to the importance of research. There has to be in-depth research, and there has to be breadth in research also. One has to go deep into every law and situation, see the origin of the issue and the evolution of the law and the different possible thoughts and views. This is important for clarity. And there has to be a breadth of research too. There is often an interplay of laws on any subject, and one has to know these different provisions. For example, in the case of a sale of a flat, one may think it is just a question of getting a precedent and doing cut, copy, paste. But there is much more. The Transfer of Property Act, the Stamp Act, the Registration Act, the Limitation Act, FEMA, the Income Tax Act, the Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act, the Power of Attorney Act, and so many more may actually apply to just what we consider a normal day-to-day situation. I remember discussing a client's matter with Mr. Gursani once. It was a matter of land acquisition and claims of compensation. And Mr. Gursani was so articulate and so fluent. He recited provisions and decisions over the last 50 years and put the whole matter into perspective in just a short while. And on the basis of the past, showed us the way forward. There was another matter which my father, Mr. D.M. Harish, was doing. It was for a royal family, and the question was of devolution of property. My father read the history of the family from 1750 onwards, that means for a period of more than 200 years, and showed the pattern that had emerged, and that the property was HUF property and not individual property. This had implications on the taxes and on the ownership rights and the right of each member of the family to that property, rather than just that one titular head of the family. So you can see that research on the law, research even on the facts is so important for every situation and every case. It is the foundation of many a legal argument. We are very honored that Justice M.L. Tehliani is our chief guest today. He has had such a distinguished career as Chief Metropolitan Magistrate, including presiding over Kasab's trial after the 26/11 terrorist attack, and as High Court Judge and as Lokayukt. And he remains grounded at all times. He is still as easy to talk to as he always was. He's always very friendly and very sincere. He has dealt with such important matters and has held such high positions. I am reminded of the words of Rudyard Kipling in the poem If. Rudyard Kipling says, "If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch." Mr. Justice Tehliani has done all that, but he has not lost the common touch, and we look forward to hearing Mr. Justice Tehliani. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kishu Mansukhani, President of the HSNC Board, is such a wonderful person and such a good friend. He has dedicated himself over all these years to the HSNC Board and to its growth and success and contributed in every way. He is always thinking of this. Many a time we have conversations, discussions, and his thoughts always on the board on how to strengthen it and make it better and better. We are very grateful to him. I'm also so happy about Nari Gorsani Law College and your principal, Dr. Nilima Chandiramani, and the staff and the students. Dr. Nilima Chandiramani has led the college to heights and has introduced such a range of activities and programs and made it a well-recognized institution. I'm very grateful to you, Dr. Chandiramani, and to the staff and to all the students who organize your programs so very well. It's always a pleasure to be here. I'm sure the college will continue to provide better and better education, a fitting tribute to the late Mr. Nari Gorsani.
Thank you so much, sir. With these beautiful words, I'm sure the students have really found an inspiration in finding themselves, discovering the field of research. Thank you for highlighting the primacy of it. It's always a treat to hear you, sir. It is indeed our honor for the college to be graced by the presence of Honorable Justice Tehliani, the former Bombay High Court judge. He is the chief guest for today. I call upon Amisha Jain to introduce Justice Tehliani.
So much, Sparsh. It is indeed my great honor and privilege to introduce Justice Tehliani. Justice Cardozo said that the work of a judge was in one sense enduring and in another sense ephemeral. What is good in it endures. What is erroneous is pretty sure to perish. The good remains the foundation on which new structures will be built, and the bad will be rejected and cast off in the laboratory of years. There is an unfathomable amount of good in Justice Tehliani's long and distinguished career. It bears the impress of a balanced yet spontaneous mind, quick in perception, broad in vision, and unequivocal in approach. Justice Tehliani knew that dispatch is important, but dispatch at the cost of justice is a complete perversion of the judicial process. Whenever he conducted the trial, both the sides were no unnecessary adjournments. Rather, all of them had assurance of a speedy trial. The Honorable Supreme Court of India, in its judgment dated of 29th of August 2012, upheld the sentence of Ajmal Kasab, the lone arrested terrorist of 26/11 bomb blast, and applauded the extraordinary excellence of Justice Tehliani in conducting the trial and maintaining the records of the case, and commended him as a true flag bearer of the rule of law in this country. It went on to recommend the trial court records of this case to be included in the curriculum of National Judicial Authority and judicial authorities of different states as a model for criminal trial proceedings. Among the most famous trials his lordship has conducted is a murder case of music baron Gulshan Kumar, Datta Samant trade union leaders case, and a trial of accused involved in the terror attack of 26/11. A trial which opened its session on 6th of May 2009 and delivered judgment on 6th of May 2010. Yes, just within a year. Honorable Justice Tehliani hails from Chandrapur district in Maharashtra. His lordship completed his graduation in law from Nagpur University. Sir had started his career as a lawyer in 1975. This was followed by him being appointed as a government prosecutor in the Naxal-infested Gadchiroli. Sir has also officiated as a metropolitan magistrate in Mumbai in 1987. Further, he advanced to the post of additional chief metropolitan magistrate in 1994, chief metropolitan magistrate Mumbai in 1997. In the same year, he earned the judgeship of Bombay City Civil Court as a registrar for inspection at the High Court of Bombay in 2008. As a second additional principal judge of City Civil Court Mumbai in 2009, further promoted to the office of first additional principal judge in 2009, principal judge of Bombay City Civil Court in 2010. In the year 2011, his sharp legal acumen and his cutting-edge mind in unveiling law and facts was bestowed with an elevation as a judge of the Honorable High Court. His lordship retired in the year 2015, leaving behind a phenomenal legacy of art of conducting free and fair trial. Recently, in 2015, his lordship is appointed as a new Lokayukta of Maharashtra. Some of the things I've been trying to put forth in my insufficient prose are perhaps wonderfully manifested in the following poetic lines, which were back then dedicated as a matter of appraisal by the great constitutional jurist, Mr. Sirvai, to the first Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, Mr. M.C. Chagla, at his farewell. Kindliness and grace, excellent courtesy, a brightness in the face, airs of high memory. Whence came all these to such as he? No man less proud than he, none asked for homage less. Only he could not be far off from happiness. Nature was bound to his success. We are so blessed to have you with us, sir. It was my humble attempt to pay a tribute to your exceptional judicial career. We all at Narigur Sahani Law College always wish that this courteous nature, coupled with brightness in the face, always be yours, and that success will abide with you, whichever position you may hold. Thank you so much, sir, for gracing our occasion with your presence.
Thank you so much, Amisha, for this beautiful introduction. I request Justice Tehliani to kindly address the gathering. So it's all yours.
Excuse me. Just ensure that everyone is muted when we are listening to the address delivered by our honorable chief guest. Everyone to be muted. Thank you.
Namaskar. It is my privilege to be here amongst the students of Narigur Sahani Law College. And I am thankful to Madam Chandiramani for choosing me as the chief guest of this function. And I am again thankful to Madam that she could bring Anil Harish and Kishu Mansukhani here as guests of honors. And all the students, I may tell you that I had visited your premises earlier. And this, due to this pandemic situation, we are meeting virtually. But no matter, the difficulties also make us to learn things. And this pandemic has, you see, made us to learn few things which we probably would not have attempted to do in the normal situations. So whatever comes in the way, we have to make our, you see, the way out of it, and we have to proceed forward. You see, nothing, never look backside. What happened, forget. And we have to be positive, don't think negative. So though we are meeting virtually today on laptops and mobile phones and desktops, but still, you see, we don't feel that we are away from each other. I feel that Anil is just sitting near me. I feel that Kishu is just, and Chandiramani, as I feel that I had been meeting her in the premises itself. So we should be happy with whatever comes to our way, and God is there. So believe in God and proceed further. No negative thinking, always positive thinking. Today, this is the inaugural function of Vidhi Manthan, and it's really Vidhi Manthan. Manthan, this word is actually well known for Samudra Manthan. When the ocean was milk churning was done, a lot of things came out of that ocean. So that is very famous, Samudra Manthan. And in Indian mythology. And in that churning, you see a lot of deadly poison had come, including along with other things which were released by that churning of ocean. So that deadly poison, it is said that it was Lord Shiva drank that deadly poison, and therefore his Lord color is bluish or greenish, you say. So when you are doing churning, Vidhi Manthan means churning of law. So when you enter this profession or when you enter even college of law, churning of law starts. Because the subject is so vast. There are so many acts, there are so many rules, there are so many regulations. So when you enter the law college itself, your churning of law starts. Vidhi Manthan means churning of law. Vidhi means law and Manthan means churning. So this is our inaugural function. And during the course of day, I think there are other events also. During the course of day, you will be doing churning of law. And during that process, you come to know so many things. You learn so many things during the process of, attending classes and attending such type of events. Such type of events are always organized to bring the students together, introduce to them the persons who had been associated with their subject. Now, Anil Harish is associated with the tax. I am associated with criminal law. So Anil Harish is known to me since long, and I was lucky to meet his father, D.M. Harish, his uncle, D.M. Dayal. So Dr. Dayal. So it is there that I first met Anil Harish at the house of his uncle, Dr. Dayal. And thereafter, we had been meeting, we had been talking on telephone. And you are lucky. You are lucky that you are a student of this college, and you are lucky that you have a principal like Chandiramani, you have trustees like Kishu and Anil. Actually, I tell you, this education field, Sindhis migrated from Sindh without anything with them. And it is really wonderful to learn that Sindhis in those conditions, they could think of, starting educational institutions like Jain College and KC College. When I am told that I am not from Bombay, but I am told that those places were deserted places. And Jain College is today one of the topmost colleges. KC College, HR College, they are the topmost colleges of Bombay. And this we should learn from the community that, if you have a determination, you can do anything. Nothing is impossible in this world. The people who came penniless, migrated from Sindh, they established themselves. And it is not that after their establishment, they started all these institutions. They started all these institutions during the process when they were in the process of establishing themselves. Now, these institutions have not come recently. They are very old. The Jain College building, KC College buildings are very old. So when this pandemic started and there was migration of people from Bombay to the country, Bihar, UP, West Bengal, Assam. So we could see the videos and all these things on WhatsApp and TV, how much difficulty they faced. But that time, I used to remember that these persons have their own houses in the native places where they are going after leaving the Bombay. So they will be going to their own house. Maybe it might be closed, but they will open. There is a government, there is voter list, there is Aadhaar card, there is ration card, there are so many other facilities, Manarega, this, that. Establish the institutions and all these things. The purpose is only to tell the students that determination is the most important thing in life. And when you enter the profession as a lawyer, you should be determined that what you have to do in the profession. Because this legal profession is always known as a noble profession. And this is the only profession which is called as noble profession. There are so many other professions also which are equally nobler. But you see, this profession is officially called as noble profession. So when you enter this noble profession, you have to maintain the dignity of the profession. That is very important. Don't forget that the profession which you are entering and the work which you are doing, you are doing it in a very, very dignified manner. And you don't let your parents, you don't let your teachers, you don't let your institution to down, and nobody should say a word against you that this boy has come from so and so institution and he is not dignified. He has no ethical, he has no manners, he has no ethics. So in this profession, dignity is the topmost thing. Ethics is above the dignity, because ethics are very, very important. Whether you become a lawyer or whether you become a judge after becoming a lawyer, becoming a judge directly as a magistrate is possible nowadays. So whether you opt for judgeship, or you opt to become a lawyer, practicing lawyer, or you opt to join any chamber of a renowned lawyer like Anil Harish. So wherever you go, you have to maintain ethics. And what is your aim? That should be decided before you enter the profession. Or if you enter the profession within a very short time, you should be able to decide what you have to do, what practice you want to enter into. And whatever practice you do, whether you criminal or civil or tax, or there are so many maritimes, revenue, so many fields are there nowadays, IPR. So whatever field you enter, the ethics are very, very important. Don't forget. Nowadays, unfortunately, the moral science subject, which was one of the subjects in syllabus earlier in Hindi, Marathi, or English. So this subject is not there. That book is not there in the schools also. But I'm sure that our parents, our teachers, they teach us what is morality, what are ethics, and we have to go by those ethics. Don't forget that whenever you are practicing, you practice very, very ethically, because this is one of the subjects also in the law, ethics. So what I was telling, that first of all, you have to have a determination, be determined. Don't forget ethics, be dignified in the profession, and see the leaders of the profession, follow them. See the leaders of professions who are known as leaders of profession, not because they have a big practice, but they have been able to maintain the status of the profession. They had been doing a very, very good practice. And along with that practice, they had been doing they are discharging many other social obligations, like Anil Harish, late Shri Nari Gursani. You see, late Shri Nari Gursani was a very renowned lawyer. I was lucky to meet him on few occasions. Still, you see, he used to attend the function of Cheti Chand. He used to wear that red cap, and he used to sit in the center in front of the stage. He used to dance on the music, and he used to celebrate that function. So, becoming a big lawyer, having a big fees, that is not, a dignified legal profession. When you are in any profession, your dignity is counted on many, 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 counts. And be down to earth. Don't show that I am something else. You can't meet me. You have to, if you want to meet me, you have to come through a proper channel and this and that, right? When you have a lot of work, you are in legal practice, you are in social work, you are engaged in some other good work. So you just cannot meet everybody whenever he wants. But at the same time, try to see that the persons who are in difficulty and they want to meet you, they could meet you so that you can help in whatever manner you want. Today's position is that our country, the poverty is the biggest problem. Poverty is the biggest problem. For poor to approach the court of law, it's a very difficult thing. You can go to the hospital because hospitals are open. Either public hospitals, you can just enter, have a chat with 5 rupees and meet the doctor. But legal profession, you see nowadays for poor, it has become difficult. So when you enter legal profession, try to see that you spare some time for the poor and persons who are in difficulty and who need legal help. Actually, those who need legal help, it is good to help those persons. Poverty is a very, very serious problem in our country. If you ask common man who has case in the court, common man means common man having case in the court. If you ask him what is his opinion about the legal system, what is his opinion about the system which is administering justice, he will tell you he is unhappy. He is not satisfied. But if you ask a common man about the judiciary who doesn't had occasion to face the court of law, he will say that judiciary is running the country, because he reads only what happens in the public interest litigations, what courts are doing in the environment field and other fields, and they are issuing directions to the governments. That is only read by them. But who actually faces the court? A common man who is not able to afford the fees, a common man who is not able to afford the time, he has to take leave, or if he leaves his job and attends the court, he loses 500 rupees per day, which is a problem for him. If you ask common man, 95%, it is sorry state of affairs according to me. I had been magistrate, I had been judge. It is very sorry state of affairs that the 95% people attending court will say they are not satisfied with the system. Is it a good situation? Are we not are we not responsible to change this situation? What is the pendency? Why a criminal case should take more than 10 to 20 years or 30 years to come to an end after all appeals and everything? If person was accused at the age of 29, his final appeal will come up for hearing before Supreme Court when he is 69. Is it, you see, the system which we are running? The people will definitely say they are not satisfied. I'll give you one example. When I was session judge, additional session judge, there used to be a vacation in courts. So I was sitting as a vacation. And vacation judges are supposed to hear only urgent matters, remands and bails and all these things. They are not supposed to touch regular cases. But if they have spare time, they can see the regular cases also. So when I was sitting as a vacation judge, I used to finish my work within an hour or so, remand work and this bail applications and bail applications, all these things. So then I used to take up the regular cases of the court where I was sitting. It was not my regular court, it was somebody else's court, but I had authority to hear those cases. So one day, I took up one case where the accused was in custody and he was produced before. So he was the only accused and the charge was 395 of IPC. 395 is dacoity charge. There you see the offense of robbery or theft is committed by 5 or more than 5 persons. So he was the only accused in 395. So I read the charge sheet and I found that 4 persons had absconded from the spot itself and they were never arrested, and this person was only arrested. And allegations against him were that he was standing outside the shop when the bag containing cash was taken away by the 4 persons, and he was just there to intimate them what is happening outside, if any police is coming or whatsoever. So I asked them in Hindi कि भाई क्या हुआ? तो बोले सर मैं दुकान के बाहर खड़ा था और पकड़ के ले गए. So I asked him कि what are you doing? I am a labor and I used to sleep outside that shop daily in the night in the corrugated boxes. And my work is in that gully only since last more than 10 years. And he had nothing to do with that offense. I read the whole charge sheet and I found that there was nothing against him except the fact that he was standing on the road where the offense took place. And he was crying so badly that, you see, I thought his case should be heard in vacation. He had no lawyer. I thought he doesn't require any lawyer. Let me see his case. What is it? It was the stage of framing of charge. I read the charge sheet and I found that there was nothing to frame charge against him. So after reading charge, I passed a very short order of maybe of 1 page and I discharged him. When I discharged him and I told him in Hindi कि आपको छोड़ दिया है, so he started crying. So I asked him कि क्या हुआ? बोले सर मैं कम से कम 1.5 साल से कोर्ट के चक्कर लगा रहा हूँ और मुझे जेल से यहाँ लाते हैं और ले जाते हैं और किसी जज ने मेरे से आज तक पूछा नहीं कि तुमने क्या किया है, तुमको क्यों पकड़ा है. सर आप पहली बार मुझे पूछ रहे हैं. So when you become a judge or lawyer, these things are very important to be borne in mind because you see these people have nobody. Now he was eating in the jail and sleeping in the jail. Outside also he had no other income, source of income except the charges which he could be charging from the people he was maybe Ghati or Gadi wala. So the issue is that the ethics are to be maintained. You have to be very, very compassionate towards the poor people because they are the persons who need our help. We can do anything with our authority, money, connections, this, that. Just as we can engage a big lawyer, he can appear for us. But legal aid has failed. Since you are this Samudra Manthan, Vidhi Manthan you are doing, you have to churn all these things, boys and girls. This free legal aid system has failed miserably in our country. We are spending a lot of money. You see, I don't hesitate to say anything. I'm telling you bluntly what is happening. We spend few lakh on the functions in 5-star hotels and rooms on some subject which is connected with free legal aid. Legal luminaries, big judges will come, they will inaugurate, they will address the gathering and they will have a nice lunch and all these things or dinner, whatever it may be, and the function will be over. How much your expenses? Few lakh. Why don't you keep that money aside for really extending help to the persons? Legal aid give. Legal aid appoint a person, you issue directions to the legal aid authority and the person will not get the lawyer for 2 months. This is the position. So dear boys and girls, I will request when you are Vidhi Manthan is being done, so you have to do churning Manthan. जो विष निकला उसको भी पी के और हजम करके you have to do the social work. What Lord Shiva did, you see, you can also do. There is nothing impossible in this world. So while celebrating this Vidhi Manthan, whole day or how many days it will go on, I don't know. But I will request all of you to keep all these things. Kishu Mansukhani also told you that the most rare commodity in the world today, so in our country at least, is the honesty and ethics. If honesty is not maintained, there is nothing. The lawyer or judge may know little less law, I don't mind. A lawyer or judge who is dishonest and he is expert in law, he is useless, according to me. A person who becomes a judge, he must be honest, dignified, ethical. Law he will learn from books. Law he will learn while working as a judge. But honesty has to be there. You see, that should be determination that I will be honest throughout my life. Whatever I do, whether I am a lawyer or a judge or shopkeeper or whatever it is. So honesty is a really rare commodity. Despite so many laws, anti-corruption laws, you tell me how many persons you have heard in your life that this corrupt person has undergone imprisonment of 10 years. Tell me, if you have heard even 20 of the government servants have undergone from Maharashtra sentence of 5 years or 10 years or 2 years for corrupt practices. Why not? That means there is something wrong in the system. Despite having been anti-corruption law since 1947, amending it in 1988,
again amending it in 2018, we are not able to stop, forget stopping, but we are not able to, you see, even control the corruption. So you as our next generation, you as young boys and girls, you have to think about it. I'm telling you all these things because this is the time when you inculcate all these things in your personality. This has to be essential part of your personality. Honesty and ethical practice has to be essential part of your personality. Then you do whatever you want to do, whatever practice you want. There is no issue. And while we had also spoken about research and all these things, because this field has become a very vast. Research is very important. You have to keep yourself abreast with the latest law, latest judgments of the Supreme Court and High Court for successful practice. So go on doing research. It is possible that, you see, while doing research, you may come across a case where your view is different, and when you become a High Court lawyer, you may make a single bench just to refer the matter to bigger bench, and your opinion may change the law. I have seen our late Sri Ram Jethmalani was known for that. You see, basing your arguments only on the decided cases is not sufficient. You should be able to put up your point of view, which is correct and which is different than the decided case, and which makes the judge to refer your subject to a larger bench. That is the way you should look at the case when you have a. You see, getting relief from the court on the basis of decided case is okay. But you see, making a new case law is made by judge, but you are instrumental. You are the instruments who make the judge to make a case law when you are practicing as a lawyer. So whether you are a lawyer, whether you are a judge, these are the important things which I can tell you from my experience as a judge, that I told you, I gave you example of that poor labor. Don't forget that in your life. Remember it. It is part of your life. It has to be part of your personality. So with all these, and thank you very much, Madam Chandira Mani. Thank you very much, all the students, boys, girls. Thank you, Mr. Anil Haresh, with being with us. Despite your very, very busy schedule, I know. Thank you, Kishu Mansukhani, also being with us for the time. And once again, I thank the management and the principal and the students, all of you, for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to have a word with the young boys and girls. And I hope that whatever has been discussed with you by me today will help you in your life, in your career as a lawyer or a judge or any other aspect of law you opt for. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, sir, for this beautiful talk. You really touched our hearts. You spoke to us on a level that will not only make us better lawyers, but also better humans, which will enable us to deliver justice and equity, no matter if we choose to be a judge or a lawyer. Thank you so much, sir. I was lost in your words. I have learned personally, and I'm sure there are many others today who have heard and will hear you after the recording goes live. They will learn a bunch just by listening you, sir. Thank you so much for this beautiful talk. Moving on, as stated earlier, Dada Nari Gursahani was equally good at his pen. So this year at Nari Gursahani, we thought that a competition such as a research odyssey would only be apposite tribute to Dada's prowess, but also it will hone research skills in students. And I am so glad to announce that the response was overwhelming, to say the least. We were flooded with so many brilliant papers. As a result, we decided to judge it in 2 rounds. We had 4 judges for the qualifying round experts in their individual subject. I extend my gratitude to Dr. Sonali Abhang, Dr. Sharmila Guge, Dr. Bindu Variat, and Professor Ashish Borse for giving their valuable time and judging the qualifying round. One paper from each topic was selected for the consideration to the final round, which was judged by Professor Abhijit Rohi, Professor Garima Panwar, and Advocate Satyan Israni. Thanks to these judges for sparing their valuable time for judging the winners. I would also like to make a notable mention to the DM Harish Foundation for sponsoring today's event. Thank you so much for your support. It just keeps us going every year. We have finally arrived at the last leg of this inaugural event. And now it is time to announce the awaited results. The third best researcher goes to Purnima Umakant Bandri from VPN's TMC Law College, Thane, on the topic of imprisonment and recidivism. The second best researcher goes to Drishti Rathi from Christ Deemed University, Ghaziabad, Delhi, on the topic of revisiting Lalita Kumari versus State of UP, AIR 2014 SC 187. And the best researcher goes to Anuli Vinod Mandlik from Rizvi Law College on the topic of using TRIPS flexibility to safeguard India's healthcare. My heartiest congratulations to all the participants of this event and to the winners, because those who have won trophies have got the trophies, but the rest have experiences that will lead them forward, definitely. A note for all the winners, kindly listen to it carefully. Please give your account details to Madhvi ma'am carefully and without delay so that the amount gets credited on time. The certificates of participation and merit certificates shall be given to you immediately, whereas the cash prizes will be credited circa first week of October 2021. With that, I call upon Ms. Amisha Jain to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Harsh. The famous Persian poet Rumi once said that wear gratitude like a cloak, and it will feed every corner of your life. The life of every successful event depends on those hands who have constantly fed their hard work and determination to improvise every detail. Now, I take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge the heavy labor of each and every person who has contributed in making this event a successful one. On the behalf of Nari Gursahani Law College, I convey my heartiest gratitude to our Chief Justice, Honorable Justice Tahaliani, for sparing a few hours from his busy schedule and for gracing our occasion with your humble presence. It was indeed an enlightening experience to hear you, sir. We are long lost in this fast-paced world, and we tend to forget very conveniently those moral values which we learned in our school, and honesty, ethical discipline that you have perhaps reminded us that we'll always cherish and will remember as long as we go on. We extend our deepest gratitude to our dearest Dr. Kishu Mansukhani and Anil Harish sir, our guest of honors, for adorning our event with your memorable presence, sir. My sincere thanks to all four judges of preliminary round, Dr. Sonali, Dr. Sharmila, Dr. Bindu, Professor Ashish Borse, and also the judges of the final round, Professor Abhijit, Professor Garima, and Advocate Satyan Israni. Thank you so much to each one of you for agreeing to adjust today's competition. A special thanks to DM Harish Foundation for lending us their support by sponsoring this event. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to the students of HR College, Mohit and Jayant. Thank you so much to you all for very generously lending us technical assistance even this time. Last but not the least, thank you to all the participants, volunteers, and all those hands behind the curtains who have contributed in making this event a grand success. Thank you so much to all of you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Amisha. And with that, we have come to the end of this inaugural round officially. Ma'am, would you like to have parting words?
Okay, though nothing should be said after the vote of thanks, but after listening to the exemplary address which was given by Honorable Justice M.L. Telyani, I felt I must say a few words. Sir, thank you very, very much for your words of advice, of commitment, morality, and ethics. I know you will give us the brutal truth. It is truth. It may be brutal. And the heart-rending experience that you gave us about that laborer has touched our heart. And you are very right, sir, that this legal aid clinics and the legal aid schemes, they have really not done much. But today, I promise you, sir, that my next Vidhi Marathon, the 13th Nari Gursani Festival, will have something to do with the legal aid program. And instead of just having a program, we will reach out to the masses. We have a legal aid clinic and we are doing a lot of service in the districts over there. But your words have really touched our hearts. And I assure you, sir, that my entire team, my students and myself, we will reach out and we will fulfill this promise and get back to you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. And I also thank both our guests of honor, our dear Mr. Kishu Mansukhani and our dear Anil Hari, sir, for having been with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a wonderful program.
Thank you, sir.
So
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice Teliani. You spoke very well.
It was wonderful, very heart touching. Thank you. So shall we wind up, all of us?
Yes. Mohit, we can